Hey, and there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to Muck on the Market. It's been a wild and crazy day so far. If you're up a lot of money, good for you. If you're down a lot of money, get them in the second half of the day. And if you're somewhere around even, like myself, what the fuck were you really doing? I don't know. But once again. And don't take our advice to heart. We're just a bunch of people who mildly know what we're doing, but have random opinions that apparently some of you people like. So that's what we're going with today. It should be some, interesting predicaments out there. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk some 3M. We'll talk some cat. We'll talk some how this market completely reversed. Why I feel like the TVIX, which is the 3x long ETF of the VIX, is a fun way to trade volatile markets like this. I think it offers you great exposure to protect your portfolio and to capitalize on upside for little risk. I mean, it normally trades between $6 and $14, so you're getting portfolio protection, if you want to call it that. I don't think you want to, for less bang for your buck than buying S&P puts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's. I think. I mean, access a lot lately. I mean, really, almost exclusively for the last, I don't know, 8 weeks. I really haven't. I mean, my last big short was mid-mex, whatever that Mark Cajones is yelling about every day. I think it's up about 7 now. Yeah, it's 7.55. I actually got out in the 6s, but I was shorted from about 9. I don't know what the heck's happened. I see that they have coming up, or did they announce? I don't know. I've been earnings on 425. Ooh, tomorrow. Well, that should be earnings conference call is on the 26th at 9:30, 8:30 Eastern time. Or, I'm sorry, 10:30 Eastern time. That should be interesting. That stock, I mean, to me, it's got everything I've looked at with that one. Are you familiar with that at all? MDXG,
No.
Medics, my medics. They were paying doctors, weren't talking about it in their filings. It has all the earmarks of kind of being scamtastic as far as I'm concerned, but it's heavily shorted and very dangerous turf for right now. Although I tell you, up here, it looks like it's in rarefied territory. I think they're expecting a good call tomorrow. I expect after the call, irrespective of what they say, everybody gets killed again. Speaking of which, I may put something on before we're all said and done here today.
I like finding, going out and finding the research on companies that you feel in your heart of hearts are scams. But the problem is with that is when you tell people they're getting scammed, a lot of people are so committed to the story that they don't care in the first place, and then like resent you or decide that that's not how they see it, and you get in a situation of, I mean, well, none of us is really playing with the money out there, but Einhorn against Allied took forever for him to win that, even though he proved it was a fraud. Ackman got killed. Sometimes they when you're perpetrating a fraud, you defend it so hard that it can whip your ass for a while.
Well, that's true. I mean, the widows and orphans don't sell anyway. They just stand on the sidelines, hold letters, and there is some money behind these things. So when things get heavily shorted, they're a pain in the ass. I mean, there's nothing better to look at for that thesis than Tesla. And Tesla, I think it's dead in the water. and I had been looking to short it since mid-January, but I haven't gotten in. I just haven't found the right opportunity. Problem is, again, it's so heavily shorted, and whenever Elon comes up with some good news, and I don't say it, I argue this with a very close friend of mine who's not in the markets per se, but definitely has a view, who, you know, is all about Elon. And I mean, I think the guy's a genius. Well, he's a genius because he's, you know, getting paid all this money. But you know, the ship, I think, has sailed on some of these cars. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have some great technology. I mean, they did tests. I think this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They did testing on Tesla batteries, and this was after they had run them over 100,000 miles, and they were still operating at a very, very high level. So, I mean, I think this technology is something to speak of. But the fact is, the big auto manufacturers have not been standing still. I mean, you've got. Didn't I just read the other day that there's an electric Ferrari coming out? I don't know how that, you know, who the hell is going to buy an electric Ferrari?
No, there already is an electric Ferrari. It's a, how do you explain? It's a hybrid electric Ferrari. It has a V8 or a V6 gas engine with a electric motor. You can turn off the V8. You can turn the electric motor on, but they not have a lot of power. It's kind of like a Formula One car where the V8 runs, and then the in the Porsche, in the McLaren, you can run it just on the electric. In the Ferrari, you can only run it on the gas. It's the exact as a F1 car, where when the engine starts going and you need more power, it kicks in the electric motor and then flies to give it the boost and some of that. But
well,
yes,
I know the Porsche has an electric SUV coming out sometime soon, sometime in 2018, that is supposed to just knock the cover off the cars. I'm still in the cars, but I'm paying college tuition. So I've kind of committed myself to not being too in the cars until such time as I'm done paying off their school. One daughter is done, but 2 more left, and one goes to NYU, and that cost me a fortune.
What was I going to say is I listened to the Quote the Raven podcast a lot, and he broke down Tesla pretty hard, and it came when I was listening to it, something I never knew is that the more product that Elon Musk sells, the more they lose money. And that just seems counterintuitive that, you know, the more cars Ford sells, the more money Ford makes. But with Elon, once they start selling over a certain number of Model S's or SUVs or whatever, they actually are losing money. And that's like, well, then you're not really a car company, because your product should make you money when you sell it no matter what, but they're not. They're losing money after a certain number. And that was like, well, no wonder why their cash burn is so high. But then it keeps being high.
It's, I mean, I just don't think it works. Well, I see the market getting quite a bit of recovery here. What, I got a low at 26.16 on ES, but it's now up to what, 32.25. You know, that's a pretty decent recovery, little bounce, but you know, much to the consternation of the mega bulls. I mean, I had a mega bull that was telling me everything was right when some earnings came out last night. And, oh my God, he was crowing. And then this morning, oh Lord, he was the happiest pig in shit. He was waiting for 2750. 2,800 is not far away. And, a little bit of time.
Well, I just missed my short on getting into TVIX. I was trying to short around $8 and I missed that. It's already cracked $8 into 790s. So I canceled my orders on that. Nat Gas looks to be the UG AZ, which is what I trade. because it's the 3x lever nat gas that has just leapfrogged my bid and is making me more money. So I'm trying to sell that as we talk. But you know, it's funny. I did feel like today would be ripe for a massive sell off and then a good comeback. We'll just see how much of a comeback we can make going into the close. But I mean, we'll see. I think we can do something here. I feel like it makes sense to get maybe halfway. If we ended up at down, I don't know, 250. I mean, I think that would be. I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't know how anyone else feels in that, but also I'm quite annoyed that I can't short in Robinhood. Robinhood won't let you short, so you can only go long, which sucks. Because sometimes you just don't want to be long.
I mean, I've kind of, for whatever reason, over the last couple of years, just I find it easier to read the market from the short side on an overall basis. That's not to say I don't look at the market with an open mind, and that's why I'm frequently, like I'm sitting right now, flat as a pancake. And why I didn't come in today flat as a pancake? Because I just was unsure, but I just kind of wait. But I feel more comfortable of late, certainly from the short side.
Could that be because you're not optimistic about the world?
I don't know. Maybe that's true. I don't feel totally negative. I mean, I will tell you, there's one company, the relatively small company, the one that my wife happens to work for, that's doing quite well, irrespective of the day today. And I told one of our friends about it. You don't even know what the symbol is. I'm certainly not talking about it here. I'm here, Muck. I'm gonna just make some more espresso while I work on.
No worries. I found today when the Caterpillar earnings came out and the stock jumped up, and then they started the conference call and the stock started to massively plummet down, I kind of realized today might be a really fucked up day. And then friends of mine who heavily track the market with algorithms and flow watching started massively emailing me that their people were trying to take down the SPY or the XLF pretty hardcore, and people were wanting to take out the SPY down, and all of a sudden he called it right. Everything just started going as hard as it could, and once you see it going, you realize that the machines really do control everything, and there's nothing you can do about it. That the machines will make their plays, and you just got to live with it.
There was a vigorous defense at 2660 that went on for quite some time. I mean, went on what? I don't know, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And they kept defending it. And once that broke, and it broke hard and fast.
Yeah.
And as soon as it broke, I basically bought it at 59 and sold at what, 35 or something. But it just broke ridiculously quickly.
And I mean, that's what has been. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's what I've been seeing lately in the market is people trying to defend a lot of things, and then boom, either they hold it and it rallies, or boom, it fails, and then we keep dropping. And it seems like it's been added on by these algos. And hey, look at 3M just crossed over the 200 mark, so it's back at 201, almost going to 202. So it makes me feel good. I had
I think you're really gonna have to wait till tomorrow to see how this thing plays out. I don't trust anything. I mean, Google came out with good headline numbers, but as you dug in the details, the devil was in the details, and that is their amount of money that they're generating per click is down, and it's facing. That's the least. I'm sure, the ECB's new rules on privacy are going to impact both Facebook and Google. And I mean, our idiot politicians here in the United States of nowhere, they don't give a rat's ass because they're just worried about getting reelected so they can keep dining off of the taxpayers' dime.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But my call earlier today was that 3M would close around 205. That's almost where it opened. Well, I think it pre-market was at 205, and then as soon as the market opened, it went to 204. But I think it ends around 305, maybe 302. Builds a base and goes. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with everything. I mean, I think you're just still waiting for tax reform. I think you're still waiting for the Iran deal. I think we're waiting for tariffs.
Now you're getting into
I'm really waiting for Donald Trump to learn how to shake hands properly. But I think it's kind of funny. I mean, I love the way he just like led Trudeau around by like shook his hand and then pulled him this way. That was hilarious. The memes on that were just amazing, and way to go, guys, on those memes. I think they deserve it. I don't know if you're in the crypto sphere at all, Bob, but me and some friends are long Ethereum. We think Ethereum is going to $1,000, so we've been long for building a base in that for the last couple months on the downside. I don't really have any Bitcoin plays. If people want Bitcoin stuff, Doug Polk Poker at Doug Polk Poker does a whole bunch of shows like this on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies that I find very, 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 very well done. But for us, we just kind of track the order books of the cryptos, and you can actually track them. They're actually clean books, unlike what we got in the market now with bots running everything. You can really watch the order flows on cryptos.
Yeah, I mean, I think is the best of the lot for a whole lot of reasons. But I actually have a very young friend of mine, who is good friends with my son and my daughter, who made kind of a lot of coin, I think, and is ostensibly building a platform to mine that stuff. And that's where I kind of go a little bit dark in terms of my knowledge of it. But I mean, I know kind of how it works, but I don't know all the dirty details. But it's interesting, and there is some bottom in it. Where that's going to be, I mean, a lot of people have put out some stuff. I do read occasionally on it, especially when I'm not like reading books like I've been doing profusely of late. So that kind of takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, the mining is I lost on me. Greg, our good friend Greg, tried to explain it to me years and years ago that his brother is very, very smart and into coding and tech, and his brother started mining his own thing, and I was picturing like plaster mining or deep mining. I'm like, what do you know? This doesn't make sense. I didn't get it. I wish I had. We would have done it. Maybe I wouldn't be doing this show right now. I'd be like chilling somewhere.
But I think so few people really made a killing. I mean, don't get me wrong. This friend of mine, literally, I think first off, he made his father, because he was investing some of his father's money. He made his father, I think, about $400,000. Honestly, which is better than a kick in the ass.
As Kramer says, it's better than a shark stick in your eye.
Yeah, well, and he made himself about 60 G's. Now, fortunately, he got out. He got out shortly before he, basically got out. He this was last year, early July. I said I was looking at it, and that's when it was. Forget what it was approaching at that juncture. It was very. I can't recall. I was like, Jeff just looks staying. And he got out. I think he got back in and got back out.
It's a good vehicle to trade the. Now the thing with that I'm not quite sure about is when you're setting up these mines that they have now, you got to find like it's all about power consumption, right? It's all about
it's a huge amount of power consumption.
It's the same thing that algorithmic trading, like companies like Virtu and that we've been talking about all the time. It's not it's like an opportunity cost almost. It's you're covering your technical expenses. And then whatever
it's enormous in terms of energy costs.
But it's the same thing as the people that co-locate and run, like Virtu and stuff like that, where it's all technology. It's all technology for cost for them. Where
it's like that pot farm you got downstairs in your house.
Yeah, a lot of grow lights. But that's not as much because it's I've switched from bulbs to LED lights, and LED lights don't really take the energy. Now
you're in California, man. I was just there. It's all legal. Everything is totally legit now.
I don't know what people are talking about. Yes, it's state legal. It's federally illegal, which means you can't have a bank account. You have to have all cash, and people will rob you. And
is that still the case that you can't that with the bank account problems? Is that still the case?
Anyone who pot farms in any of the states, even if it's legal for recreational armamentism, you can't go to B of A, you can't go to Chase, you can't go to any of those. They will not give you a bank account, and most regionals. You can't go to a national
bank, but I'm wondering. I think you can use credit unions. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken.
It's I don't think you can use a credit union. I don't even think you can use a regional because of they're all federally overseen. And it's a federal crime, and that's what people don't understand is like, well, it's legal here, yeah, but the federal government says it's illegal, and they overrule your state, and the DEA is run by the federal government, which means the DEA can do whatever they want.
Right. Well, and that's it's very problematic because now you have just enormous amounts of cash being stacked up, and then there's armed guards. I mean, I was actually, I was out in California with if you can imagine this, a 25-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 20-year-old. So pot's legal. Oh my God. I can't tell you how many times we wait out and, there's an armed cop there and, the whole, but I'll tell you the people going in and out of there. And I understand in California, actually pot sales are now in excess of beer sales in the state of California. Believe it or not, Muck.
I mean, I guess I could see that. I mean,
that's because you're drinking too much Jack.
I'd rather drink beer than smoke pot any day. But I mean, I guess they do the same thing. Calm you down, make you happy or whatever. But I'm a beer guy. I mean, Jack Daniel's guy, rye whiskey guy. Rather have those and enjoy it than would. Hey, look at 3M. It's 2:02. Looking good to looking good for my call. If it keeps going, woo. Makes me feel good when I call something midday and it could work out. I would love to have the balls to say that we're gonna end green, but I don't think that's gonna happen with 20 minutes left. Maybe. No. Yeah.
Apparently, someone must have had my finger on the lock for a little bit of time. But so I don't know. I mean, the market it's a very complex day. A lot of activity. Height moves in and out. There is some support here.
Yeah, but I think we're still going to close around, down 3. I mean, we're down almost 3.5 on the SPYs, but I think we'll probably maybe end down 3 on the SPY. I mean, if I'm looking at it, I want to say it looks like it's going to make an inverse head and shoulders on this daily chart. I mean, right now I have a 10-day, 30-minute chart up, and it looks like it's really making an inverse head and shoulders.
I mean, I think the economy is just, it's not really very good. It's not very good, my opinion. But I don't have much else to say. I mean, that's about it from my perspective. I mean, I'm just happy. I'm sitting with a lot of money in a company that's actually up quite a bit today. So they must have had a good conference call. That's all I know.
Well, then, I mean, that's what matters. You know, I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, going into the close, I might look to get long some of this SPY going into the close. It always makes me feel good when I can go opposite of my counterpart that I work with. When he says short or long, and I go opposite, and I make money and then cover, and then he makes a lot more money because he was, you know, always right. But you know, if I get that 1-day victory, that's, you know, sweet on my end.
All right, Muck. Well, you know, I'll be around. I'll have some more thoughts when I'm a little more collected. You kind of caught me.
I got you a little bit off guard.
Well, a little bit off. I didn't know we were definitely going to do it today, and I was looking around.
Well, we'll definitely do it again tomorrow if you're down. Into close again. We'll figure it out. We'll get a more of a weekly schedule for the people out so they know what's going on. And I've already secured the website, so we're working on building that so we can link all the shows up and, you know, let other people do shows that want to. And, you know, it should be a good old grand.
Yeah, are we going to do you have more people that are going to be involved in this month?
I have reached out to a select group of people, and people have said that they are willing to come on the shows with me and you. People are getting microphones and cameras right now. Other people have put out interest in, you know, maybe doing their own show, you know, which I don't care as long as people bring content and want to have fun and no one takes anything too seriously. Those are kind of my guidelines. Let's not, you know, get too serious about ourselves. You know, we're all traders, are people who work in this market who have real jobs. So let's keep it that way. Except for you, Bob.
No, I don't have a real job.
Except for you.
Although I did spend hours today trying to get my, I found out that my new washer and dryer that I bought in mid-February, actually, they hooked the washer wrong. They have the coming in the cold pipe is hot water, and literally I spent about 3 hours trying to get somebody to fix it. And I said, you know, I'm talking with the company of installer. They said, well, you only had a month to let us know. I said, well, you know, I didn't use it personally, so I wasn't really aware of the fact.
I don't wash my own clothes.
And you know, and the fact is that you installed it, you didn't do it right, and I can establish that it hasn't been touched. You know, I mean, I just want to get it done. But anyway, enough of my nonsense.
Hey, I mean, that's not nonsense. That's you know, saying that you want something done right, which I'm a full believer of. If I'm going to pay you money,
I was happy with the old washer and dryer. This thing I currently have now is just off the charts. Does everything but bring the clothes down and fold them for you.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Right. All right, man.
All right, Baba. We'll see you tomorrow. Into the close again, and we'll work on getting a schedule for everyone out, and so the people know when we're around.
Sounds good.
All right, talk to you later.
Peace out.
Bye.